So today is a special day because I'm making my fiance, Simon Shaw, ta-da, come and be on this podcast after we just came back from a 3-day surprise weekend.
Mm.
And I'm asking him to be on this podcast. And really, the mood is, Andrea, why are you making me do this? Would you like to share your feelings right now? Let's just start with honesty. And yeah, you're not in the mood to be in this podcast right now, right?
Well, I think it's a strange time for either of us to do it. Like, we're both tired. It's the end of, we just got back from travel, just got back from a long day's traveling. And yeah, kind of it's today, it would be normally like a relaxing time of just chill out, have a cup of tea, unpack, do some washing, relax,
But this is what we're doing. We're not, this is not nothing. Relax, enjoy, just a conversation. I know you get to talk to me again after being with me for 4 days nonstop. Maybe that's also, usually we're kind of in our own world after a little bit.
Yeah, it's a bit odd to be coming and doing this now. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, we set the mood, and the mood is kind of like tired and kind of like, our vacation is over, or weekend. It was not even a vacation, but it felt like a vacation. We went to Mallorca, which was amazing.
It was a vacation.
Yeah. And the reason why we went there was to celebrate your birthday, but it was also because we are going to get married in about 2 months and a week. Nobody's counting. And I thought that it would be nice for us to spend some time together, not talking about the wedding before the shit hits the ceiling, basically.
The shit hits the ceiling?
Yeah, this is American. Yeah, the shit hits the ceiling.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't the shit hit the fan?
Oh, yeah, maybe the shit hits the fan. Yeah, exactly. So, first of all, did you find this weekend getaway relaxing, and are you more in love with me than you ever been before?
Did I find it... So hang on, what was the question? Did I find it relaxing?
Are you coming back relaxing and more in love with me that you've ever felt before?
Yeah, it was relaxing. Yeah, I feel very relaxed, kind of lethargic. Today it's kind of like, in that kind of holiday slow mode, eating a lot, drunk a lot.
Yeah, we did that.
So yeah, definitely relaxed. Yeah, super relaxed, I would say. And did I come back more in love with you than ever before? No, I don't think that kind of is something that is variable. So
it just is.
Yeah, I don't think it's like, I'm more in love because we went away on holiday together.
But don't you think you get, as being in a relationship, you get ups and downs? And so when you spend time together, you get more on the ups. And so you kind of like that person a bit more. Not you always like that person, but you spend time with them, you're like, oh, that's really why I love him or her. And then you come back and you're like, and then you go back with your life, and then, no, doesn't work for you like this. You think it's the same every day?
Well, in terms of like loving that person, yeah, I think it's consistent, because like the feeling of, oh yeah, like we had a nice time together isn't love. That's just something that's variable. It's not consistent. Whereas like the love part is consistent.
Oh, that's nice. I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah, well, and it was, it's not meant to be a compliment. I think that's just, for me, that's the way.
No, man, you dare give me a compliment. Talking about love. Okay, got it. Moving on. So we're about to get married, and I am freaking out a little bit in my life in general. But getting married for me is a bit kind of a stressful time, because I feel like I'm giving up my identity, and so I'm fighting myself within that. So it has nothing else. It has nothing to do with you, really. I'm really happy that we're getting married, and but there's this part of me that's like, now I'm gonna be the wife of.
Mm.
There's the part of me that's like, Andrea, the dependent girl, is not going to be a wife, and that's not my identity. So I'm battling all those thoughts, and the way I'm dealing with it is to find the dress, because it feels for me that I'm growing up, but I don't want to grow up. And so the dress that I'm wearing, when you're looking at dresses, or it's like I'm almost looking at, is that the woman I want to be? Although I am old enough to be a woman right now, but as a wife, is that the woman I want to be? Or no, I still want to be me. I still want to be a bit sexy, but then, so I'm battling with all those thoughts, and I'm going through this shopping spree, which I cannot find. I cannot find the woman I want to be, really. It's not coming to me right now. Maybe it'll come at some point, but maybe because I'm in that mode, I'm like, is it too classic? It's not classic enough. It's not me. It's not rock and roll. It's not sexy. It's not all this. Anyway, that's how I'm dealing with it. How are you dealing with it?
I don't know. I don't think I've thought about how I'm dealing with it. I don't think I've, planned to have a mechanism for dealing with it, or I'm not aware of a way that I'm processing it or dealing with it. So I guess I'm going along with it, go with the flow,
Okay, but let's talk about your argument. The biggest argument we have is that you feel like I want the wedding to be a certain way, and you want the wedding to be our way, and you feel like you lose your power. So could you kind of go on to that, and do you think that that's maybe your way of dealing with that?
Yeah, maybe it's my way of dealing with it, but I mean, so it's something that I don't understand about weddings. Yeah,
What don't you understand?
the the need to do it the way that it's always done. That's one thing, but yeah, I suppose maybe focusing on that or fighting for that is is part of it, maybe.
Hmm. And what about your outfit?
What about it?
Do you know what you're gonna wear?
No idea.
Should we share what you're going through with the outfit story?
If you want.
Okay. So basically, I told Simon that I would like him to dress a certain way. Nothing in particular, just obviously you are the man of the day, I am the woman of the day, and I wanted us to dress the best way possible for us to, I don't know, remember that day as, the best, our best versions. And you've battled that as me saying to you, you have to do it this way, this is the way you have to do it, blah, 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 blah. So when we're out and about with our friends, every single friend of yours tells me, oh, but Simon's just going to wear shorts to the wedding with high socks. What do you think about that, Andrea? And I'm like, great. But we fought so much about that, about what you were going to wear, and how, in my mind, I thought you should be the best looking person there. Although you will be, but I'm just making that effort to want to be. That at some point I give up, and now I just said to you a month ago or 2 months, you know what, wear whatever you want. And you even, after that night, you even woke up in the morning and asked me, do you remember that you told me that I could wear whatever I wanted? And I say, yeah, I remember, because I'm giving up, because it's like, once again, this is my way of, I want to be the best version of myself. That's my way of doing it, but that's me. And if somebody would tell me this is how you have to be, probably would bother me. So I said, okay, you do you. So would you like to share a little bit about that feeling?
About what feeling?
That constraint. I guess that's how you feel, constraint. Or
Well, no, but yeah, I mean, because it's something I don't care about. So, like, the way that you look, and especially if it's based upon you have to look a certain way, then yeah, it's something I don't care about, and it's something else I don't care about, which is following the way that it should be. So yeah, it's two things. It's the way that you that you look that I don't care about, the way that I look that I don't care about, and it's the following the tradition which I don't care about. So then I suppose trying to then if somebody's trying to enforce that and say, oh, it has to be this way, then yeah, I'm going to fight back. And so
your favorite quality, your favorite thing to do, fight back, especially me. Argument.
Yeah, arguments are good.
And so, do you know what you're going to wear at the wedding?
No.
And do you have any ideas?
No. Oh yeah, I mean, so we talked about a kind of theme and a look, but that's it, I would say, at the moment.
And that's not important for you until probably the last minute.
Yeah, there are other more important things to do, definitely.
Okay, so what are the important things? What are your like number one, number two, number three for this wedding?
The things that must be done. So like
number one.
I don't know. Music. Well, music would have been number one for me.
But it's been taken care of, so you don't really.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, you took care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what you said, there's things that are more important to deal with. So, what are the things that are more important to deal with right now?
But yeah, all the stuff that has to be done. So like, getting people there, travel, making sure that people arrive, know when they're arriving, how they're going to arrive, who they're going to arrive with. Stuff like that.
Entertaining them.
Yeah. What about that?
I don't know. Is that something you think about?
No.
Okay. Okay. So.
Well, I mean, there's stuff there that's going to entertain them anyway. So that's kind of partly taken care of. So.
So now our families have never met, and they will be meeting on the wedding day, on the ceremony day. How do you think your parents are going to think about my parents? Now we're talking about two totally opposite people.
I think they'll. Well, I mean, your mum and your dad are very different as well. In different places, different nationalities as well. So even between them, it'll be a different feeling. But I think that my parents will like your parents. I think your dad doesn't speak much English, and my parents don't speak any French, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that is.
So I don't know how they're gonna.
My mom is party girl.
Your mum is a bit more kind of free and easy and bubbly and a bit like you, but different. So they'll get on. They'll probably recognise the difference and be Um, shocked, maybe, I don't know, maybe, or not shocked, but I suppose it is a kind of shock if you meet somebody and it's like, whoa,
And they're the
need some
same age,
time.
so they can't even be like your parents. I think hold back a lot with the age thing. They use the whole like, yeah, because now we're retired and we're older and all that stuff. And my mom is like, what do you mean? We're still alive. We're still going. Let's go dancing. So that will be very interesting to actually see.
Yeah, yeah, that's her thing. Yeah, but yeah, I suppose that she has a young soul still, so she is still up for those kind of things. Whereas, yeah, I think my parents have probably had older souls for a longer time anyway, so it doesn't matter what age they were at. They've been in that kind of mindset for a while. I mean, yeah, especially my mum. My mum always says she hates parties, so she just doesn't like parties, and she never has. I think so. I think that's more a personality thing than an age thing. And like you say, they would say that now at their age, they probably fit that mindset.
Yeah, yeah.
But that the thing is also they probably do more different things than your mum. So they probably do more stuff like choir or kind of remember like doing artwork or
but is it
playing
doing
golf
different things, doing different things, but in the same way?
They do different things, but they do it in their way.
In the same way, yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. But that would be. I mean, that would be interesting. We'll talk after. We'll do another podcast after the wedding. Obviously not the day that we come back. Don't worry, I won't do that to you. Okay, so now we need to share with the audience that we have a 5-year contract. Would you like to talk about the 5-year contract, the wedding, our 5-year agreement?
So what it is rather than
explain the story.
a wedding being for life.
Okay.
Marriage is for life, till death do us part, which is again all based upon an out of date old tradition, which has probably very little relevance, or ever had very little relevance. Because it's something that's forced because of, again, a belief in something. That being forever, that you get married forever, and, it's kind of quite daunting, I suppose. So the idea of the 5-year contract is that it's not forever. It's, okay, let's see how it goes for 5 years, see if it works out. And then we can sign another contract if we want to.
So after 5 years, we sit, we sit and we go through what worked and what did not work, and then decide what we want to do. So for some people that sounds totally crazy, and for others I guess it makes kind of sense, but they don't really get it. But for us, it's I think we're both people that don't.
Those are people who believe in religion and think that getting married forever is a good idea. Well, they don't need to get it.
Yeah, and also
it's the definition of madness, really, isn't it? Yeah. Knowing something biologically isn't. Very few other species do it, and we aren't great at being monogamous anyway. So, and it's this idea of till death do us part is just a construct of religion or societal rules that were created hundreds of years ago.
So are you planning to not be monogamous
after the 5th year? Who knows?
Okay. Good to know.
During the contract, then the contract is the contract. So
yes, I think what Simon really is wanting to say is that we believe in keeping it real, really, and that 5 years seems like something that we can handle, But forever seems like something that's very overwhelming for people that have been single for a long time and that enjoyed being single and dating. And I don't think it. I don't think it has to do with dating other people, because that could be misconstrued as like, oh, you can only do it 5 years and then date somebody else. I don't think that's our thing. I think it's not. There's nothing to do with other people. It's more about,
That's about us.
it's about being honest and just being like, I don't know if I could do forever, but I know I can maybe do 5 years and see how it goes. And I think it also kind of keeps us on our toes, knowing that you're with somebody, but you can't take them for granted because you never know what can happen.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that is our 5-year contract. We'll see how it goes. Yes. Did you want to add something?
No, I was just going to say, just that that's the thing about having been single for a long time, or not being in a long-term relationship for a long time, or not ever being married, going that far, and wanting your independence and to keep your independence is the thing which is also like the stressful thing, or the thing that is probably getting you stressed at the moment.
Yeah. But not you.
Yeah, I think there is that kind of, there's something daunting about it. Yeah, and again, the bigger the thing it is, it's the same with the wedding as it is with forever. The term forever, or the idea of that it's forever, and it's this massive thing. It's the same thing with the wedding. It's like, oh, if it's this massive thing that somebody else, not only is it a massive thing, but it's a massive thing that somebody else has designed the way that it's going to work. Then it's like it's somebody else's expectation on you to do something. Like, it's got to be forever, or it's got to be this way. You've got to spend this amount of money. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. You've got to have flowers on the tables. You've got to have, I don't know, all the things.
Oh, you have to walk the... One of Simon's things that he doesn't like is that the bride walks that certain people get to walk in the middle towards the... I don't know, the hotel they call it, no? The hotel?
Hotel?
Yeah, I thought it was called the hotel.
Walk down the aisle, do you mean?
Yeah, the aisle. So some people get to walk towards the aisle and some don't. You didn't want a photographer because you think that's a waste of money, although we got around that one.
By getting a photographer.
That was not too expensive, that we could afford. So Simon was okay with that now. And also, like, I think, those are things that I agree with you. They're not meant. You don't want to be imposed anything. We agree on that with the same person in that way. However, I do believe there's some things are meant to work a certain way for a reason.
Okay, firstly, it's not the fact that it's a waste of money. It's it's a waste of time. So people taking photos, doing things like that, for me, is about the time, and it's about losing the time and losing the moments that you're in. So whilst you're spending an hour taking photos and excluding all the people, you're not really our bestest friend, so you're only going to be in the photo at the end with everybody else. But we really like you, so you can come in this photo. Whereas you're a family, so you have to come in, even though actually you're the family member that nobody really likes. But so that is wasting time and energy and effort rather than wasting money. So then you pay for that experience. For me, seems bizarre. So it was more about that thing, because I've been there on the edges and waiting and standing around and cool, all the friends, all the family, then all the friends, then some different mixtures. And
but we decide that, so that's how we got to kind of come into a point to kind of deal with it, was that we need to. I mean, the photographer asked us to do that, is to just make the list. Who do you want? I mean, for me, it's, yes, we're not going to have your family, my family. This is kind of the whole point of the wedding, really, is to have everybody together. And we're probably never going to have this again. So my whole point was to capture that. But then again, we do need to organize it in a way that's like, okay, mom, dad, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you. And that's it. Have it, we do it our way. I'm not going to do that. Somebody will do it, or else they'll be like, oh, the bride is so annoying. She's, what do they call it? Bridezilla?
Bridezilla.
Or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm always, because I'm like, no, 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 it has to be like this. Go, 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 go. So yeah, so that's how we, but I am like this without being a bride. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But we kind of found our solution, our way to do it, which is, we'll come up with the list and that's it. And that's fine. And I also think and believe that, I mean, I agree. You do have to invite some family members to be polite, but really you're like, oh, I don't really want you to come. Because my friend here has been supporting me for many, many years. And, you've never even bothered to, take an hour of your time when I came to your city to visit you to go out for a drink or something. So, yeah, of course. But you do invite them because you're polite. And that's something that we've managed also because we're doing a wedding in London and we're doing a wedding in France. So destination wedding is kind of, I think, the secret to get to not have the people you don't want to have at your wedding. Just so you know, just a little tip for all the people that are about to get married or want to get married, I think. Anything else that you would like to share in this process of getting married with people?
So you also, before I jump back into I jump back to the photographer. You asked another question. What was that? Do you remember? There was two things there. I've forgotten what the second thing I was going to say was.
Okay.
In response to the other thing that you
have to
said.
Jump on it, or else I keep going and move on.
No, well, I did. I wanted to jump back and talk about the photographer.
And we did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then family members that we don't want to invite.
No, there was something else you said.
No. Okay. Keep them. Oh, the alley. People walking the alley.
Aisle.
I'm tired too.
Don't walk down any alleys, dark alleys. Walking down the aisle.
Yeah. Is that something? No?
I don't never have a specific issue with that.
Okay. You don't remember maybe. But you were like, why don't everybody just walk the aisle? And I was like, because people need to be sitting down and people need to be walking. But yeah, that was one of your, what is it called? Pet peeves?
Yeah, that's not a big one. But yeah, it's just one of those things, I suppose. I probably would have thought at the time, like, why is it just the bride who does this? A bit like the rings. Why is it the man buys the woman an engagement ring? The man has to do the getting down on one knee. The ring has to be a diamond, because De Beers has decided, because they're the biggest diamond seller, that they've said that you've got to spend this amount of money on the diamonds. I mean, it's genius business planning and commercial and marketing, really.
But really, Simon did not want to propose. He wanted me to propose.
Yeah, it was the year for it. It was the leap. Was it the leap year? Yeah, so you could. But it was the leap year the year before we actually got engaged. So
yeah, but
you had the opportunity.
I believe that I have nothing against women proposing, but in our relationship, I wanted you to be sure that you wanted to be in this situation.
That's a good idea. And
by you making the step is you getting ready for it or not. But by me asking you, I could maybe put my input on it. I do want to go back to the guest, and we talked about the people we don't want to invite. But I want to talk about also the fact that there's a bit of deception that we go through when we invite people and they don't want to come. Family members that decide that, they're not going to come to the ceremony because it's too far, or that, they are not in a situation where they want to take off work because for them, our day is not, it feels like it's not so important. There's a part of it's a bit, you get a bit, you're a bit disappointed from it. I'm talking in general. I am disappointed, but we do deal with it differently. I say it out loud because that's the way I deal with things, and you kind of more keep it on the inside. You'll tell me, but you won't maybe tell the person. Let's talk about, do you feel that this is something that should be addressed? And you don't like weddings, so that for you, maybe a wedding is not important. And for some people, weddings are not important. So how would you address that?
Address what?
The fact that people are not coming to your wedding and you're disappointed, but yet you don't believe in weddings. Well, you believe, but not.
Yeah, I would try to convince them. I think I would, I wouldn't necessarily say straight away, like, you need to come because I want you to be there. It means a lot to me. So, I want you to be there. That's it. I don't think I would necessarily say that straight away. I think I would, try and kind of, why isn't it? Why can't you come? Why? What's in the way? What can I do to help? Or what about this? What about that? Give some solutions. Yeah. So rather than saying, I just really want you to be there. So come.
Yeah. But do you understand the fact that do you understand the fact that sometimes for people, weddings, and especially your wedding, the fact that you're playing it cool, like, oh, it's fine, that they are like, well, he doesn't really care if I come or not.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But I think that's the thing with because we've got this, we've got the two, the London and France. So there is that option to, we've put that there for that reason, to have that option to go to one and not the other.
Mm-hmm. Because we wanted to make it affordable for everybody. So it's not because you couldn't travel if you don't have money at the moment that you can come and have a party with us. But dealing with that disappointment, you still let it go.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose it's a bit disappointing. Like it could be a bit like annoying and just like, just kind of, I suppose that's frustration or something. Just kind of like, why can't they, make that effort or whatever? But at the same time, like I understand it, I understand why people might take an easier option.
But that's the British way and that's the French way. I just want to map this out right now, because in France, like, you just say the way you feel it. It's just like, you just go on and be like, I really think you should be there. And for me, when I go there, I deal with it. And then it's done. I said my piece. And then it's on you to choose. And I mean, when I'm done, I'm done. So whether you come or not is kind of like the same thing. However, being polite about it, I think it's more of a British kind of way to not really say it, but you kind of feel bothered about it, but you kind of feel like, oh yeah, but it's okay, because don't you feel it's a culture thing as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And silence.
Yeah, no, it is.
Okay. And silence again. Okay.
I haven't had any caffeine. I haven't had any coffee or anything today. So.
I know. So you're nice and mellow, which is sometimes a bit easier to do a podcast interview with you. So
really?
You don't attack me back. Yeah.
That doesn't...
You're a bit vulnerable. So when you're vulnerable, you're a bit more easy and flowy, versus when you're on your coffee thing, it's like, no, but I have my point to make and I want to make my point and let me talk and let me make my point. Versus now you're kind of like more of, you know what, let's just, whatever. Yeah, I don't know right now, which is cool. Yeah. We'll take vulnerable, Simon. All right. So, I just have a few more questions.
And by the way, you said that I wasn't meant to like speak into the mic.
Yeah.
But so you keep speaking into the mic.
because these are
Yes.
different mics.
So you're meant to speak into your mic, but I'm not meant to
Actually, I
speak
am
into
not
mine.
meant to speak too close to my mic. I am making
Okay.
a mistake.
Well, don't lean in to speak into the mic, because that's not what you're meant to do.
It's true. I'm just doing this.
That's what you told me anyway.
That's true.
Not that I know. But I did notice that the microphones on Kermode and Mayo, the podcast advert sounds better than the ones they had for the BBC.
Ah, well, there you go. Advertise their show. They're not giving us any sponsorship, but why not? It's fine.
But like by mentioning that here, like you imagine if you got some of those Kermode and Mayo people to post to post it on the Kermode and Mayo Twitter or something like that or whatever, they heard it, or if Kermode and Mayo heard it,
Yeah.
wow, that's huge. I think they're like number one.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I'll take that anytime, any day.
Number one,
anywhere.
even more than Test Match special.
Yeah, those are all Simon's weekly listen.
I don't listen to Test Match special.
Didn't you just say you?
No, I said that Kermode and Mayo is bigger and better than Test Match special.
Ah, okay, sorry. Oy. Okay. So, anything you would like to add freely? No, you're just done with this. Okay. And
Well, no, there's nothing. I didn't have time to prepare for this one, so
it's the raw version.
yeah. I think you need time to prepare for these things. Like I said, the first one, the first time we did this, there was no preparation; it was just thrown in, and then the second one, it was like, oh, this is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So I think it does work better if there's a bit of prep time.
But to be honest as well, the technology failed me. So the second one, we're redoing the second one right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we also moved in time, so giving more of a up-to-date getting married situation. Anyway, we don't really sound very excited to get married. We're kind of like, yeah, we got to do this, and this sucks, and da.
Like, yeah, well, if you get all those things out of the way and get them done, then you can be excited.
What is the one thing you're excited about getting married? About the wedding and one about the marriage part.
The being married part?
Yeah, and one about the wedding.
Honestly?
Yes.
The being married part, nothing. Because again, it's not going to be like, oh yeah, now I love you more because we had a wedding.
But that's because you don't know. Maybe you'll feel different. You don't know about that. You don't know. Maybe that will change.
Maybe, but so yeah. So that side of it, I think, again, it's about consistency of feelings. I don't see that changing. I still think I'll be like as happy and as in love with you as I am now.
Hopefully.
Which, yeah.
I would think I would want more, not less. Okay.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not a more or less thing. It's it's something that you work at. It's something that you recognize the difficult times and the good times, but the consistency is there behind it, which is, why you're getting married in the first place.
Which is why?
Which is what?
Why? What's the consistency?
In the love and wanting to make some commitment. Only 5 years, though. This is a legally binding contract. Everything in the States.
And what about the wedding?
The wedding. It's interesting because I think you do have like a picture in your mind of how it might go, and which and expectations as well. But so I think it's you almost don't want to build up those expectations too much. I think I'm excited about the music. I'm excited about dancing. I'm excited about having like a party time. but I'm excited about, the end of it all as well, and getting some at the end, and going, like, at the end of the day, going and just breathing, and it just being like, okay, whew, now we're alone, it's done,
Mm.
here we are,
Yeah.
we're married. That's, is that, that's cool.
Is that a new chapter? It probably is.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. We don't know yet.
No.
I think for me, my favorite thing about the wedding is having all our friends, our family come together. That is the highlights, and I am so thankful for people flying over and traveling, and so thankful for that. And I can't wait to have everybody there. And then for the marriage, I think right now I'm going through my own self things, so I can't really see it yet. I can't see being married. But I think I could say that I see, we're a team, and we always been a team. We're always like, we support each other in what we do. We're not perfect. We argue like everybody else, but I think you're my person. You're my teammate. so yeah, we'll see. And like you said, it's not because we're getting married that now everything is done and over and it's easy. It's every day. Every day's a journey. Every day's a situation for us to kind of grow, explore, become who we want to be as adults. And we're constantly changing anyway on our own, and then hopefully we get to change together and keep growing.
Yep.
All right, and that's about it for our talk about getting married in 2 months and 1 week. Well, yes, by Wednesday I'll still be dead. Simon is about to die. Do you want some tea? This is what happened, ladies and gentlemen, when you party, eat. Well, we didn't really party, but when you eat and drink a lot, the coming back is tough. Anyway, it was great tuning in with you, Simon. Thank you for doing this podcast, although I know you were very, very not in the mood to do it. I hope you enjoyed it. And see you soon. Anything you would like to add? Now is the moment. No? Silence?
Such as bye, or
yeah.
See you soon.
Wish me luck.